Dun, 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 dun. It's 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. It is Tuesday, the 14th, 14 of October, AD 2025. And, oh, that's funny. And you can call in. You can super chat. Some of you guys already super chatted. I was remiss in my duty to read your super chats during the Hake report yesterday with Big Bump. And many apologies, or just one at least. Maybe I'll apologize a second time, because I don't like to miss your super chats, especially when Caesar calls Big Bump his third, top 3 favorite guests on the Hake report. Does Hake only have 3 guests on the Hake report? Whoa. Shots fired. No offense. Big Bump. Cesar said you are his third favorite guest. And speaking of, he was asking me, where's Krishan, the Dawn of the Misfit Nation? Yeah, I know. And I've been thinking I got to get Omar, the Muslim man, the Muslim New Yorker from Yemen, who knows how to say Qatar, back on. Because, you know, with this ceasefire that our greatest president achieved, at least in name only, perhaps, I think that it's wonderful, you know? And I want to know what Omar thinks. I wonder if he approves or disapproves of our greatest president, Trump. He's, you know, kind of hit and miss on the Trump question, on the TQ. So, nice. You guys can call in, and I will try to do more justice to your super chats, at least now, even though Big Bump isn't here with me to answer some of them that may have been more addressed to him. I was very sloppy. Bring Omar back, says Age of Inversion. Yes, I shall. I'll try. Nice. The views expressed on this show do not represent those of Hake. I don't even represent myself, or Bond, or JLP. Okay? Some of the info that you hear, whether from me or from other people, or the in your head, or in the super chats or news reports, it may be false. So be aware that know that you don't know. All right? Don't listen to your interpretations in your head and repeat them in the snake pit. But if you do, we do try to cut you a little bit of slack. Sometimes we do have to put the clamp down. But basically, I disclaim. All right? I disclaim. The lines are filling up. I appreciate that. I shall try to do a good job for you guys. Tomorrow is going to be Punchy TV live in the afternoon after American Anchor Baby. That's the plan. And like I was telling off air, the Women's Forum is this week. Ladies, Women's Forum, third Thursday of the month. It's 7 p.m. at Bond in Los Angeles. Oh, let me check something. Were you guys in the chat trying to tell me that my mic was a touch low? I think this is a good mic right now. Had you turned it up? Okay. I think this is a pretty good mic loudness right now. Hopefully it's good and loud. I complained yesterday, really about myself, that my mic was a notch or 2 or 3 or 4. Don't know what a notch is, but a notch quiet for my taste compared to Big Bump's mic loudness. And so, just side note. Sorry, my apologies. I don't like it to be like that. All right, so anyway, the disclaimer, etc. So, apologies. Apologies and disclaimer out of the way. So, anyway, guys, let's just get on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I'm fine. I got my Obvious Globe t-shirt on and the proof in the mountains, in the hills. Actually, the proof is on the horizon, but very nice, very cool. This is the old design of the Obvious Globe t-shirt. The newer design is on, this one is on Teespring if you want to take a risk on Teespring or Creator-Spring. But, nice. There's another version on hake.printify.me that is more, I feel a little more playful in it, but it has the words in the picture. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Let me know if you have a preference. Cool. There's a lot of news going on. I think what I might do is show you this story that I found pretty cool, pretty nice. If we mosey on down to the Hake Report in the news area. Hey, the trackpad's working nice. My hands must not be too greasy and grubby and nasty. Terrible. I disclaim. Let me open up this one version. Let's see if they allow me to check these things. This was from, this is of course from Commie Nonsense Network. I use it. Video, Texas girl saves her little brother from choking. A young girl quickly stepped in to help her little brother when he began choking during playtime. And he does something that you're not supposed to do. Oh, here, let me tell you guys about this. This was, you're not supposed to do this. Let me show it to you. You see this? Unmute it. Hopefully it's not too loud.
Olive Garden's
Oh,
never-ending
Lord.
pasta bowl is back.
At least I can mute it. Commie Nonsense's website is... Video from Lavon Police Department shows a girl, wow, the police, performing life-saving actions known as the Heimlich maneuver. Look at that. Oh, gross. Oh.
Actually died. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's okay. It's okay. 2, 1.
So he put it in his mouth and started jumping around and falling and playing like a little kid.
I'm used to it.
They're on the trampoline.
You okay?
Little girl, little white boy, choking. She slaps his back, doesn't help. He's choking, he can't breathe. She Heimlichs him. Ugh. Nasty.
Are you okay? Hold on. Let me go get mom.
Oh, worried. Good job, little girl. Oh, Lord, I hate this. Okay. So isn't that cute? Yes, I think it's good job, little girl. The mother taught him how to do that, according to this report. Let me see if I can open it back up. I close it in a hurry because I do not like these ads. Intrusive ads, but I guess that's how we get to see stuff for free because it's not free. Life-saving actions on her little brother. I thought that I saw something about the mother taught him how to do it. Her mother taught... Oh, yeah. I think it was in the video itself. If you watch the video, you'll see the subtitles play. The little caption things in the video itself. If this video Lexus ad ever ends. A Texas girl saved her little brother from choking.
We might actually die.
We might actually
I
die.
don't know if y'all can see it, but it's okay. It's okay. 2, 1.
So he said in advance.
I'm used to it.
Oh, come on.
You okay?
When he began choking, Leah's mom, special programs admin at Lavon Police Department, taught her rescue tech. How come they're not calling it the Heimlich maneuver?
Are you okay?
Is this anti-man propaganda? Terrible. Heimlich maneuver. Heimlich. Is that German? Is that a German name? Place the thumb side of your fist, just below the rib cage and about 2 inches above the belly button, navel. Right? Okay. So here's the belly button. Here's the rib cage. Here's the belly button. Here's the rib cage. And then, oh man, what happened? And then, I learned that I had heard about it as a kid because we would make jokes like, that's a little personal. Sharply and quickly thrust your hands inward and upward 5 times. Repeat this process until you free or dislodge the object stuck in their windpipe, or the person becomes unconscious. Is that or until? That's according to Cleveland Clinic. I don't know. I disclaim, of course, like the views expressed on the Hake Report may not be accurate. You can do it on yourself with a chair against your whatever. So you're not supposed to talk or run around or play. All kids are taught this. Yeah, Dr. Heimlich at 96. Oh, Lord. How am I going to do this? Let me just pull an anchor, baby. Archive. See if New York Slime is hiding life-saving information from us just for money. Can you believe it? I'm kidding around, New York Slimes. Kidding around. I don't even know if this is illegal, what I'm doing. At 96, Heimlich uses his maneuver. At 96, Dr. Heimlich used his own maneuver on a choking victim. Victimizing everybody. 2016 article. Dr. Henry Heimlich. He used the technique he invented on a choking woman at his retirement home in May 2016. Dr. Henry J. Heimlich, 96 years old, got to do the real thing on an 87-year-old woman Monday night in Cincinnati, Ohio, popping a morsel of meat out of her mouth. That's so gross. I felt it was just confirmation of what I've been doing throughout my life, he stated in an interview on a Friday of that year in whatever, Episcopal Retirement Services. Isn't that nice? And why are they not wanting to credit this man? Is it something different from what he had said? Henry Heimlich. Is this anti-German, anti-man propaganda? Commie nonsense doesn't want to acknowledge the men? I don't know. Can we early life check Heimlich? Early life. Watch, he's Jewish. In your face, people. I'm kidding around. I don't know. He was born in Wilmington, Delaware. Hey, that's where one of the greatest German journalists. Yeah, his paternal grandparents, Hungarian Jewish immigrants. So you can thank a Jew that little boy did not die choked to death. Maternal grandparents, Russian Jews. Shout out to the Jews. We love them. He got an MD, medical doctorate, at the tender age of 23. And he died in 2016, just a tender 6 months after performing the Heimlich maneuver on that 87-year-old gal, according to the New York Times report. Nice. Born in 20. Died in 2016. Well, thank you, Heimlich. Henry Heimlich. I stand with the Jews. Nice. Pretty cool, huh? Let me get to a call or two here, if you don't mind. William III out of California is on the line over here. William III, how you doing, sir?
All right. Don't get stuck, man. You talked about this already earlier, man. This Heimlich. Don't get stuck. If you didn't want to be coming to work today, just don't come. Okay?
No, I like this stuff. But
Good
yeah,
guess yesterday.
are
Good
you
guess
saying that
yesterday.
I harped too much on that topic?
Nothing. A lot of times, because you talk to people like Mays, you get lost.
Yeah.
You know.
Get lost in the maze.
Yeah, and ain't nobody looking up nothing, Mays. Nothing that you're talking about. And you ain't getting no reparations either.
You don't think the
So-
big bump is going to look up that town she
You don't
said to
need
look
to.
up for her homework?
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time, Big Bump. It's ridiculous. That conversation didn't even make any sense. You either, Tony,
Yeah.
talking about Epstein and Mays talking about January 6th. Why y'all keep reaching? You know what they wanted you to do? They didn't want you to talk about the success of Donald J. Trump yesterday. That's what it was. And they wanted to keep you from talking about the Mississippi burning.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with the blacks?
Terrible, man. Talking about nothing.
Nothing. Trying to keep you from talking about something. That's all they're doing. And look here.
Yes, sir.
PPP loans, unemployment, Section 8, food stamps. Man, that's in the billions.
Cutting those things. Is that what Trump is doing?
Yeah.
Very good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
We need to
Don't you think?
cut down on this whole welfare state that's destroying the
Right.
country.
Right.
It's destroying the economy. It's
I seen
causing
one
a lot of
lady-
all this inflation.
Yeah, well, see, this one lady, she said she's going to, they said, you got to go. You haven't paid rent. And you got county help to pay your rent, and you still ain't paid it in a year. And she said, I'm a witchcraft the building away.
Whoa.
Like, okay, well, yeah, if you want to put some power in that, go ahead. Okay. They got to go. And they're not the best.
So
they're
there's
not the
this.
best.
So is there like a Haitian woman, or what type of like,
Oh,
like
no,
some
just-
POC gal who's cursing her own property
Yeah,
or somebody
yeah,
else's
yeah.
property that she's staying in?
They're all pissed off because the
Ticked.
handouts are over with.
Yeah,
You know, they didn't do right. They had a nice little party.
yeah.
How long was it? 10 years? Obama? Yeah.
Too long.
Yeah, they got all those little cracker box apartments. They, don't nobody want these tenants, because
know.
they're not the best tenants in the world, and they leave your house in a mess.
Yeah.
And, I wouldn't rent to none of them because then you are subject to lots of damage. So that's your insurance.
Yeah.
You're subject to bringing your property value down, which blacks do very well.
Yeah.
And you
I was thinking
are
about
better
that.
off with a market. You're better off with a market customer because when they get ready to leave, they take their stuff, they get a moving truck, and they move. They give you notice. And
Yeah.
you give them their deposit. But when you're subject to this kind of stuff, this public housing stuff, man, no.
I haven't heard that they're cutting out the handouts though, but I haven't really paid a lot of
You
attention.
have to. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Why do you do that?
I haven't really heard.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, I only read CNN, so I can't really say.
Well, why would you do that?
It's convenient.
Huh?
It's convenient, whatever. Maybe I should read Revolver News. Let me open up Revolver News. Redeem myself a little bit, right? Commie Nonsense Network. I just,
Crying Negroes Network.
Revolver
They're getting-
News.
It's been a lot of waste over the years, and the people that are complaining the most, more than likely, they're the ones that are being affected.
Yeah.
And see, like I said, they mess your place up. I've never had one, but I don't want one. I know what it looks like. And then, all these, dirty slut whores, they got their boyfriends living with them. They're not supposed to be there. Rarely do these women have the real father raise their kids all 17 years. It's just a bad cycle.
It is.
And about the Mexican that got killed on the freeway, here's the deal. Big bump, good story.
Yeah.
If he wasn't illegal, he wouldn't have ran. He was an illegal. So what? And if he would have survived, he wouldn't have had no medical because Trump is cutting that off too. And we're not giving the medical back.
Yep. Terrible
That's what
situation.
the shutdown's all about.
It's so ridiculous. They were trying to blame the they were trying to blame the ICE or whatever for this guy's actions. Ridiculous.
Whatever. If he'd have survived, he wouldn't have had medical, thanks to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So shouldn't have ran. Illegal.
Yeah, or whatever he was. He may have been some other type of criminal. Who knows?
He was illegal.
Yeah.
It was illegal. I didn't see you running across the freeway or
no,
me.
Sir.
Okay. Why else would you run across the 210?
Because you're a psycho criminal with
Because you're illegal.
crime on your mind.
Yeah.
Yep. Mess.
Yeah. So ain't nobody looking up nothing, Maze, because you ain't never talking about nothing. It made no sense.
I know.
You know, she needs to get that slinky out of her mouth too. But yeah, man, don't get stuck today, please.
Will do.
Please.
I shall try to stay awake. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you have a good one, man.
All right.
Later on.
Bye. Isn't that nice? So let me quickly check. Has Trump cut any welfare programs? I don't know if social services. How about this? Social services. I know that he has cut a lot of, he's fired a lot of people. Covertly cut social something or other. Highly effective. We'll see what happens. 46 programs Trump plans to eliminate. Was an early in the year thing, I guess. Can't really see this that well. Well, we shall see. Center for American Progress. That's a far left extremist outlet. Oh, man, they're disgusting. You can't really trust them, anything they say. Unfortunately, I would love for it to be real, you know? Let me mosey on back to the Hake report because I have some other things to cover. If we peruse the news, what else was going on? Those hostages released. That's cool. Like I said, I would love to talk with old, Omar. Third rail with Omar. The SpaceX Starship launch. Hoping for a moon landing in 2027. Very nice. Alaska typhoon, 1 dead, 50 rescued, hundreds missing maybe. I don't know. They're searching just to make sure. I don't know. They don't want to lose too many people or anybody really. Up in western Alaska, quite a ways from Anchorage, because of a typhoon and wind and storm surge and everything. Woo. And it's getting colder up there too, I bet. It's getting colder down here, especially when there's cloud cover. Democrats are refusing to play the Kristi Noem video blaming the Democrats for the shutdown at TSA checkpoints. And I don't know what to think about it because Kristi Noem is kind of messy. You know, women just cause unnecessary mess sometimes. They're unnecessarily antagonistic. So because it's Trump, I kind of like the fact that it's, because this is a Trump administration, that they're playing a Democrat blaming video for amid the shutdown for your flight delays, if you're getting flight delays or whatever. But I don't know, because Kristi Noem is a mess, I think. If she's anything like these other Republican women, I look at her and she looks kind of like a mess. No, that's just a fact. So whatever. You know, I was talking about the moment of silence. And then this woman, this Democrat, the Republican woman is like, oh, can we say a prayer for Charlie Kirk? No, calm down. You don't even need to speak out loud. A moment of silence for Charlie Kirk in Congress is perfect. But no, you want to push the Democrats to make them overreact. And of course, they do overreact. And it's a bunch of women overreacting in Congress. Get out of Congress, you ladies. Shout out. On both sides, on many sides. Terrible. Also terrible is this Lending Tree CEO who died in an ATV accident. I almost had an ATV accident, I think it's called. Drive safely. Crazy. Lending Tree CEO. Crazy. There, let me show this to you. Just because you can just die in a freak accident. You got to be a little bit careful sometimes, or pay attention and heed those little warnings. Occurred at a family farm in North Carolina. Now, I'm not saying he was being careless. I don't know. He was the Lending Tree CEO and founder. Doug Lebda died in an ATV accident. There's the man. How old was he? He looked like he was more dignified. Well, he looked like he was just young enough, just old enough. Bloomberg television interview in March 2016. So that was almost 10 years ago. Died at 55. Online loaning platform, okay? The company confirmed it on Sunday. Company grieving his unexpected death. A visionary leader whose relentless drive innovation. Was he a risk taker? Because he might have taken an unnecessary risk on that ATV. He may not have. I don't know. It might not have been his fault. Driving an ATV, one of those four-wheeler things. Is an ATV also a quad? Is it ATV? Just to make sure. I know he told me not to get stuck, but yeah, it's those four-wheelers. Let me go back. You search ATV and what pops up is this guy, Lending Tree CEO, dying like that. Minority Steelers owner dies in ATV crash. I wonder if that's the same guy. Probably. Seems like it. A 70-year-old woman was in critical condition after an ATV crash. What was she? Was she on that? Apple Valley, a rider died in a two-vehicle crash in Apple Valley. That's over in the boonies. So anyway, I remember not heeding the little warning. I was driving the four-wheeler over in the desert with my buddies. I was like 19 or so, probably 19, maybe even 18, probably 18. And we were riding all fast. My friend was in his dirt bike, which is two, right? Bike means two wheels. And my other buddy and I were riding on the four-wheeler. And I remember he said, "James, slow down, James." I'm like, "No, I got it." Because I would like catch some air and you'd feel a little unstable, but you would survive. You'd be fine. But it was a little front heavy or something, and I flipped it and bent it, and we crashed. Terrible. But we knew how to survive because we were in our teens and stuff. Out at El Mirage Desert. Driving out on my buddy's quad. I had to pay my buddy. Well, I did anyway. I paid him because that's not right. You mess up. I bent the guy's quad, meaning his vehicle. Terrible. So anyway, heed the little warnings. There's little warnings that you get. That's my little heads up for you. Because this is important stuff, Deadly, potentially. I'm kind of curious, like what the specifics were. Not that I want any gruesome visuals or overly gruesome details, but what happened? Did he hit a rock? Did he hit his head, or what? So that's about it for the news. I have a debate coming up. Did you guys know this? Some of you guys came across it on Modern Day Debate. Was Trump the right pick over Kamala? Why is this even a question? I'll take it. Hake is doing it. Hake and Michael, whoever Michael is, I might know Michael, but I'm not positive, is going to debate. We're going to debate Phoebe, Phoebe. That's how that's pronounced, I'm pretty sure. Versus, and William. Probably not William III, and probably not William number 7, on Modern Day Debate. So make sure that you guys check it out. There I am. Hey. I see you, Hake, says Phoebe. Hey, Phoebe Ophi. Let's find out who this gal is. I kind of like this thing where they show the username, because then you can go youtube.com/@ Phoebe Obi. And there's this person is Phoebe, 26-year-old trans woman. 7,000 subs. Hey, nice. Maybe, kind of. And I'll be like, hey. So, shout out to Modern Day Debate. Check that out. thehakereport.com/appearances or Modern Day Debate. Or if you go to see, if you just, you click over here, somewhere around here on the Hake Report, youtube.com/the Hake Report. No world. Hopefully this is correct. Nope. The Hake Report. Then you can see over on my, I don't mean to get stuck, like he said, Hake's appearances. It's a whole playlist. Interviews and debates, appearances on other channels. All right? So you can see, I haven't had an appearance in a little while. Greg Gatron makes some clips of me sometimes. And I was on Caledonian Elixir a couple of months ago. Caledonian Elixir. Scottish, I believe. Scottish. That was fun. And then before that, Dylan Burns Live. Dylan Burns. So, check that out. Coming up on Saturday. That's this Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific, the 18th, all right? 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. I'm returning to Modern Day Debate. Cool. Sweet. So, shall I do this? I was joking around about just call me Josh from Georgia. Josh from Georgia, I heard, likes to read Wikipedia, I think he said out loud one time. So I was perusing the trial of Sean Combs. And on the trial of Sean Combs, I'm reading about a possible pardon. Sean Combs, also known as Diddy. I don't particularly like that name. Interesting that Wikipedia, far left extremist Wikipedia, use infogalactic.com. But since I'm over here, a May 30th press conference, Trump was asked if he would consider pardoning Sean Combs, and he said he wasn't closely following the trial, but would certainly look at the facts. Rapper 50 Cent on IG said he would try to dissuade Trump from issuing a pardon, writing, "I'm going to reach out so he knows how I feel about this guy." So 50 Cent is not for a pardon. But 50 Cent can be a little malicious. Like, he made fun of that guy for not being able to read that well. Remember that boxer, Floyd Mayweather, who can't read? 50 Cent, a rapper, an actor, actor/rapper, 50 Cent. Real name, something else, I forget. Trump had previously been friends with Sean Combs in their overlapping tenures as celebrities, but they fell out. They had a falling out when Trump entered politics. In 2020, Sean Combs, that's Diddy, formerly known as Puff Daddy, ridiculous. These blacks make us whites make fools of ourselves, giving them, saying their stage names or nicknames when they're like grown 50, 60-year-old people. White men like Trump need to be banished, said Diddy. And he endorsed Joe Biden. And so what did Joe Biden's endorsement get him? So I'll tell you in a minute. On July 29th, 2025, Deadline Hollywood reported Trump was seriously considering pardoning Combs, as if Deadline is a reliable source. I don't know. Maybe. That'd be cool. But I don't know. In an interview with Rob Finnerty August 1st, Trump said Combs' critical remarks about his campaign would make it hard for him to issue a pardon, and said he was leaning towards not issuing a pardon. October 7th, Trump confirmed Combs had asked to be pardoned. So if I go over to what Sean Diddy Combs, his judge, the Diddy judge, it's a Biden judge. It's this guy who looks like a Indian Charlie Kirk. Or he looks similar to another guy who was a J6er. I'm blanking on the guy's name, the J6er guy's name, Ali. But this guy is Indian. Ali is, I don't believe, Indian. But this guy's name is Aaron, and I was like, oh, is he, because the name ends in IAN. So I'm like, oh, is he, what's that thing, the Armenian? No, he's some type of Indian, Tamil or whatever. Yeah, Tamil. Anchor Baby knows all about this stuff. Born in 79, he's like basically my age. I'm 81. He has a couple years on me, but he's a lawyer liar, American lawyer liar, they call him. Aaron, A-R-U-N. Nice name. There's Aarons who've called into the JLP show and the Hake report, I believe. Srinivas Subramanian, last name. And he was born in Pittsburgh to a Tamil family originally from India. So would that make him an anchor baby, or were his parents naturalized citizens before they had him? I don't know. But, he could be an anchor baby. But this guy was a clerk. He was a law clerk. When there are clerks for Supreme Court justices and for other judges and justices, I think. And these clerks do work for they work for and under kind of apprentice-like work, I guess, for justices or in judges. So he was a clerk. And to be a clerk for somebody, you might be a fan of that person. For Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This gal, the late amazing woman, as Trump called her. She was an amazing woman. Joan Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It should be Joan Ruth Ginsburg, but Bader was her maiden name, and she being a feminist at the time, she's no longer a feminist. She's in heaven or somewhere. She's no longer with us. Died in 2020 during Trump's thing. Anyway, this guy clerked for her, and he was appointed by Biden. And he was appointed by Biden, and guess who endorsed Biden and had to face a trial under this guy, a Biden appointee? Diddy. So your endorsement of Biden, Diddy, I don't know if he made any difference in this campaign, got you a conviction and a punishment and stuff like that. Well, the conviction, I don't know if you can blame the judge. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But I think the punishment, doesn't the judge have to do something with the punishment? He got like 4 years. I guess I don't know. That seems extreme. It seems ridiculous. Because they didn't get him on anything except for transportation for prostitution. They didn't even get him for sex trafficking or anything, from what I understand. So all it was these gals who willingly went to his party from out of state or whatever, if I'm gathering stuff correctly. And it's all because of feminism, and he's a male. He supported a male feminist who appointed a male feminist in Joe Biden. Kiss up to women. Look at this. Proof he's a male feminist. He put that female judge. And you know what? Ruth Bader Ginsburg shouldn't even have been a Supreme Court justice. You know what? Because he's South Asian, right? No, but the South Asian clerk for her. What a simp. But anyway, let's see. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she never should have been on the court because she was put there by Bill Clinton because she replaced not another woman, she replaced a man. Look at this manly-looking man who was on the Supreme Court. Ruth Bader Ginsburg didn't belong on the Supreme Court? Thanks a lot, Bill Clinton, you male feminist. Look at this guy. Looking all manly. All these things looking all tough. Probably wasn't. He might have been a male feminist. There he is with Robert Kennedy. 1961, Byron White. Let me zoom in on that. Looking like Pete Buttigieg or something. One of those guys looked like him. I think that might be the guy, and then that's Robert F. Kennedy Sr., perhaps. I don't know. Because the Kennedys had a full heads of hair, right? The Supreme Court, when is this? 62. White was in the top left. So that's him. That's him. So Bill Clinton replaced that guy with that gal? Oh, no, 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 no. Please. But this guy, I don't know if he was any good. Because he was they said that he was the last surviving member of the only sitting Democrat. Okay, so I don't know if Democrats were good back then. Byron Raymond Whizzer White. Whizzer. He was a whiz. Pro football player, lawyer, maybe liar. Died in 2002. The only sitting Democrat and the last living member of the progressive, which sounds bad, communist, Warren Court. Okay, so I don't know. But what a mess. Thanks a lot, Bill Clinton. So Trump should have put it back to being a man rather than replacing RBG with ACB, Amy Barrett. Ridiculous. So, just a little side note for you guys on the Diddy judge, and he played himself. Biden judge. Diddy supported Biden. You get what you deserve, right? Kind of. We'll see if Trump pardons him. I wouldn't be against that. And RBG replaced Byron Whizzer White. So, nice. Anyway, this was a little bit amusing. There was this guy who got deported or going to get deported or something, faces deportation. And he, speaking of rhinos and male feminists and compassionate conservatives, Sergio Garcia, Laura Bush, and is that George W. Bush or something like that? To Sergio Garcia, with back when they were wearing baggier suits. George W. Bush, his wife Laura Bush, this is Bush the son, and the chef guy, Mexican chef guy, getting deported. He's getting deported. He was here for 36 years. I don't know why he never fixed it or what, but Mark Hemingway says he was here for 36 years, got to know a president, and at no point, according to this Mark Hemingway, I don't know if he knows what he's talking about, never bothered to go through the process of becoming a legal citizen or going out, leaving and coming back or fixing his papers to be even legally a resident, which surely he would have been well positioned to do. He defied a deportation order after an illegal reentry, which would make him a felon, I think, because if you reenter illegally after being deported, it's a felony because you already know better. And we're supposed to feel sorry for him because this Alex Tabarrok, hopefully that's not a bad word, says Sergio Garcia, celebrated chef, came to the United States before ICE even existed. That's right. George W. Bush made ICE exist, I think, in the early 2000s. Deported after 36 years. The picture tells you a lot about the decline of the Republican Party. And he shares a link from the Texas Tribune. Silly. What a mess. What a mess. Mexican chef. So, nice. That's fine. Now, I'm retweeting it, but I don't know if all of this information is true, okay? But he's from Real Clear Investigations, and Real Clear Politics is a pretty good site. Kind of hit and miss, all right? Real Clear Investigations, Real Clear Politics, Real Clear blah, 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 blah. Very nice. So I'm for these, obviously I'm for these deportations. They're making fun of the fat National Guard. And then I will get to your calls, guys. The National Guard, they show this picture all the time now. Just clowning these guys. But these guys are, I don't know, maybe they should get fitter. They look like they're big boys. It's an ABC News, I guess, screenshot or photograph where National Guard, and I guess they're Texas, are these the Texas National Guard? I'm having a tough time all of a sudden. I feel like my fingers are getting grubbier. Yeah. Members of the Texas National Guard, according to ABC News, arrived in Illinois, according to sources familiar with their whereabouts. Doxing. What a mess. The media trying to undermine and take away the element of surprise. Video taken of them at an Army Reserve training facility in a Chicago suburb. And there you go. But they're making fun of these people for being fat. And by the way, one of these is a black gal, I think, a woman. Yeah, this is obnoxious. There we go. See, that looks like a black woman. Her face is a touch smooth to be a man, and the hair looks a little bit long. So I don't know, but you got to be. You have to have some heft to you, whether or not you have fat on you. You have to have some heft and be strong. Heft could just be muscle. There are some skinny, strong people, including yours truly, perhaps. And Clint, this person Clint, rightly says, you guys laugh. You guys don't understand. You think they're too heavy and you laugh. But these guys were clearly the meanest defensive line, claims he. Now, I disclaim he doesn't know, but I'm guessing that he's surmising. Meanest defensive line, that sounds like American football vernacular. In Texas high school football, do you even comprehend the level of aggression? Meaning high T. I bet even the black gal has significant T, because even women have testosterone. Did you know? And black women, I heard from Lin Yan Chin, do have testosterone more than other gals. Missed out on going D1, Division I football. But who cares about Division I football when you can wreck Antifa? Wreck righteous wrecking, of course. Justified wrecking. Justified strength. I'm resisting using the term brutality because that sounds bad to the layman. You don't want to be unjustifiedly, you don't want to use unnecessary roughness, but you want to use appropriate roughness. At least egregious unnecessary roughness. A little bit that's maybe a little unnecessary, but still probably justified or appropriate or understandable. You know, something where you could be like, let it slide. Yeah. A little unnecessary roughness, I think, should be okay. So right on, Clint Brown. We don't make fun of fat people here. We cherish them. The cherished Texas National Guard going to deal with evil Antifa in Chicago. This is from a little while ago, October 7th. Okay, it's been a week, but I wanted to point that out because they're showing these people all the time. They're showing this picture all the time now because Pete Hegseth talked about, we're going to get rid of the, kick out the fat people and stuff. You got to get fit. Otherwise, you got to go. But, nice. Sometimes people can be fit and fat. You know, fat fit is better than fat. It. What is that word where you don't move much? I forget. Where you're sitting around a lot. It's not good. That was really not good. Exercise, whether you're too skinny or too fat, but you're exercising, it helps big time with your health. And eventually you can, pare down on that extra weight, hopefully, for the sake of many things. Shout out Hegseth and shout out to those boys and that gal. There's a Latino, I think there's another black dude, perhaps. Americans, real Americans. Maybe some even illegals in the military. Maybe even some gang members getting weapons training so they can go and train their gangs. I disclaim it. I'm not for that, but that's what happens. Much respect, I suppose. Let's get back to where did I leave off? Oh yeah, the Mexican chef, deported, and the National Guard, hefty. Let's get to David in Texas. He's calling back. David, how are you doing, sir? Appreciate it. You hold it.
Hey, how are you, young man?
Doing fine. Thank you, sir.
Good. I disclaim everything I think, say, and do.
Nice. As you should.
For your sake.
Right on.
For your sake. So I'm kind of on, I don't know why, but I'm on the opposite end of free Diddy. I'm like, bury Diddy.
Bury him, huh? Meaning just put him away forever.
Why? Put him away.
Do you know why that is? Why you feel that way?
Because it's a personal anecdote, I imagine. So
you're coming in a little rough. Like are you? I don't know if you're in a windy place or there's like you're standing in a under the heater or air conditioner or fan or something. Are you on a speakerphone?
I'm driving down the road.
Okay. I don't know if you can close the windows.
Hear me okay?
Yeah, just stay close.
No, the windows are closed.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
All right. If I were to be charged with everything that I've done wrong, I would spend probably, as far as the law is concerned, I'd probably spend like 5 or 10 lifetimes in jail. Because, every time I go and score drugs or whatever, I mean, they've got enough, they would have enough on me to bury me.
You've cut that out though now, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
So what's your personal
for some years?
What's your personal animus with what Diddy allegedly did? And what did he do allegedly that really irks you?
I think that my own personal opinion is that when people get tons of money, there's only so much entertainment that they can do for themselves. It's going to be kind of on the up and up. And then they turn the money and the fame and all that. It has a tendency to turn people dark. And then you start playing, with other people's lives and it seems like they're just kind of flippant and they're okay with it.
Yeah.
And it's well, how do you say it? It's not right.
Right.
It's not right.
And so what did he do specifically without getting too explicit? Or what do you think he did that it was bad enough to bury the guy? Because I get the context of, when you're rich and powerful and famous and popular, you get away with more and more and you get loosey-goosey with your morals, so-called. I get that. But what did he do?
I mean, I certainly have no proof of anything that he's done.
Of course. But what did he do
I,
that you think he did? What do you think that he did that
just
is buriable?
Well, thumping on girls. I mean, I'm just I'm not completely
hitting
with that,
hitting the girl.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah, that didn't look like it was right. That looked a little bit much. But he wasn't charged for that.
I know.
I mean, I don't know if maybe he was charged before, but this transporting women for sex or whatever was his conviction. He wasn't convicted for thumping on that gal, meaning dragging her by the hair or hitting her or kicking her or whatever he may have done allegedly per that video that we saw.
And I'm in agreement with you. I mean, a lot of these so-called victims are participants.
Yeah.
And I agree with that aspect of it. I don't know.
Okay, so hitting women I can understand though. Like a lot of men and everybody else are very touchy about seeing a woman get hit. And that video was that video where he hit that ex-girlfriend or whatever. Was that what struck a nerve with you in particular? It stands out. I've got three daughters, so okay.
I'm not perpetuating Diddy's infractions on these kids that I've got, but just the idea of somebody doing that to
your own children. You're not acting like.
But I mean, there, she went back to him, right? So. You can only protect somebody so much.
Yeah. There's. I don't know what she did to prompt that type of reaction.
I mean, trust me. I mean, I've been with women that push. They try to get you to do that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. They push you and push you and push you and push on you and there's women out there that. I won't say they deserve it, but they get kind of what they're asking for. So
right, it's kind of like what
there's two sides to everything.
Stephen A. Smith said, what he tries to tell the women in his family that you not do things to provoke wrong action, and he got in so much trouble for that years back. I don't know if yeah, but it's such common sense. It's like he's showing love to the women and. The people overreacting and punishing him for saying such a statement are showing hate to the women.
Well, it's kind of like JLP and his family said, if you go to jail, don't call us.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
okay,
you brought this on yourself.
So you want to bury him for that in particular? Was there anything else that he did that you want to bury him for?
No.
That's it?
No, but I don't care anything about seeing him get free.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean,
but don't you?
I'm joking when I say bury him.
Of course.
I mean, I don't really. It's kind of like flat Earth. It has no bearing whatsoever on my life.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's just an amusing thing to talk about, but it is interesting to talk about because it reveals a mindset. So I like talking about it for the sake of the mindset and watching myself and watching other people's reactions and interacting about it.
But seriously, like I was saying, though, I mean, and I got caught up. I got caught with the law, on a few different occasions, But if they pegged me for everything that I'd done, man, I mean, I'd be in a world of trouble,
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I'm talking about just the acquiring of drugs and having them on my person. And,
since you know that you did wrong, what?
I think that he knows that he did wrong.
I know, but since you know that you did wrong and you've been fortunate enough not to get caught, why do you wish ill on your brother Diddy?
It's not that I wish ill. It's that but every time I did get caught, I was like grateful that I didn't get caught for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I may have gotten caught for this, but man, you know, if they caught me for everything that I've done wrong,
Yep.
you know, this is kind of like just a small penance for all my infractions.
Definitely, man.
At the time. Yeah. So I think that while he may be, you know, suffering in there to whatever extent, mentally mostly, but, you know, and
Yep.
having to think about all the things he's done, I'll bet you that whether he ever lets it out or not, I bet he's like, man, I'm sure, you know, they got me on this, but I sure am glad they didn't get me on everything.
Yeah.
You know?
He
Yeah.
went all gray, which is to make yourself look more
Yeah.
pathetic or whatever.
Pitiful.
Or yeah. No, not that gray people look pitiful or whatever, but make himself look older and less, more
take it easy
dignified
on the
and
gray
less
people,
guilty, because older people are less guilty seeming when they're gray.
Right.
You
Well, it's like
like
the women that go to prison, or they get in front of the judge and they either try to look as simple as they can or as pretty and homely, pretty as they can, you know. Always trying to appeal.
it's just drama. When
Well,
he's crying, he's lying. I don't know if he cried, but
That's for sure.
he certainly
That's
went
for
down
sure.
to the table. Do you think this is an artist? Did the artist take some artistic license with this, or is this accurate? I don't know. Anyway, I wish Diddy well. Whatever. I don't know.
I really just called in for the conversation with you, buddy.
Nice.
I went to a funeral yesterday for a man that I've known for 40 years, and he died of stomach cancer, and boy, it ravaged him. I mean, he was like 6'2" or 3.
Wow.
And at the end, he weighed 130 pounds. And but this guy, he was kind of, he was one of my sidekicks when I was doing some wrong things. But even in doing wrong things, he always encouraged me to do the right thing, you know. Even though we were rubbing elbows, doing the wrong thing, he would encourage me, hey man, you're kind of better than this, you ought to be doing something different,
Nice.
And he was a good guy. And,
Did you say that you went to a funeral for him?
Yeah, yesterday.
Rest in peace to your friend.
In Dallas. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good service, man. Good service.
Cool. Did they lie about him, about what a great man? Did they lie about what a great man he was and claim he's in heaven when they don't actually know?
Not really, but not really, because everybody knew him, so there wasn't going to be a whole lot of lying. Like, he was such a good guy,
Yeah.
I mean, he did care about other people, but
right.
he was definitely a representative of the darker side of things. But
How old
the
was
guy
he?
that led the service, 57.
Wow.
The guy that led the service is a pastor friend of mine, and he said that he went to the hospital and visited with Greg a lot, and that, he said, man, talking to him, he said, I've got to know, I've got to know where you stand, where are you in your belief in Jesus Christ? And my buddy Greg was like, man, I don't want to talk about that, and
Nice.
he said, man, dude, we've spent years, decades together, having fun and carrying on. He said, but, this is serious, man. And I want to know that you're going to spend eternity with me, and I thought it was amazing. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. So, according to Jeff, he made that decision and made that turn, so, I don't know, but it was the first funeral that I've been to since I've been listening to JLP and you guys. and I definitely wasn't all weepy and you know what I mean. It wasn't it was more of a celebration than it was this gnashing of teeth.
Yeah.
So it was good. Good.
That's good. Would
I
you
appreciate
normally
you,
have
Nate.
been weepy and emotional?
Say, me?
Yeah, you normally in prior days.
Maybe, yeah, I have been. I have been before. And what's funny about it is that where they had the service, I think the last time that I was at a funeral in that same parlor was when my mother passed away, like 24 years ago. So
At that same Dallas funeral home?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
For your mother,
Yeah.
20 years ago.
For my mom, 24 years ago.
Life
Yeah,
is interesting, man.
And I was in horrible drug addicted state.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing drugs at the service. For my
Whoa.
mom. So
I'm laughing,
you know,
but I disclaim. I don't.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, but for that to, to take that kind of a turn for me, 24 years later, I'm not that drug addicted, alcoholic
Right on.
person,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good.
Cool, man.
But sometimes you can see the circles in life,
Nice.
But I appreciate you, my brother.
Definitely. And
You're doing a fantastic job. I appreciate you letting me talk to you, man. I do enjoy talking to you.
Right on, David. Take care.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.
All right. Now, hang on, Rob and NorCal. I do want to get to you, but I'd love to get to my super chats as well. I had mentioned that I am remiss, okay? We covered some of these things. I sort of rushed through them. It's me with the 67 coffees, very generous. Going back to that person last week asking about the Israeli media not overcoming. I don't expect any media to be overcoming, A lot of times they're passionate about what they do, and what that means, they're betas. However much they may praise Trump for bringing them home, they're liberals, still emotional. A lot of us Trump supporters are. It's not right. Based America First was talking about the redistribution of the poor, or redistribution of poor. That was my Friday title for the Hake report. And them putting in, basically trying to push the like Section 8 type of stuff and making stuff not so nice. How about no thanks? Yeah. So it's a big mess going on in SoCal after taking advantage of the crisis of the Palisades fire, I think, right? Low-income housing in the Pacific Palisades. That'd be horrible. Eric, very generous. He talked about JLP as Morpheus. It's pretty fun, interesting. The Matrix. It's also a transgender movie. hate to spoil that for you, Eric. Terrible. Just a little review of yesterday's Super Chats and earlier than that. Carver, I hadn't gotten to this one. Carver says, to love is to suffer. To avoid suffering, one must not love. But then one suffers from not loving, says he. Therefore, to love is to suffer. Not to love is to suffer. To suffer is to suffer. To be happy is to love. To be happy, then, is to suffer. But suffering makes one unhappy. Therefore, to be happy, one must love, or to suffer. Oh, one must love to suffer, or suffer from too much happiness. Interesting, Carver. And then he goes on to say, rest in peace to the legendary Diane Keaton. And I did see her in a movie. She was in Father of the Bride. She was the wife of old Steve Martin. Is that who that was? The guy with the white hair? I don't consider him very funny, but I kind of liked Father of the Bride, I guess. I like that song, So Happy Together. Is that the Turtles? You and me and you. 1992 or 1991. Diane Keaton passed away this weekend. Was that Turtles song even in that movie? Maybe it was. I think it was. Because Hake doesn't watch movies that aren't The Princess Bride or parts of RoboCop, maybe. You may not be aware that was a quote from Love and Death, the greatest war movie ever made. The epic story of brave Russians fighting against the tyranny of a very short and weaselly warmongering dictator. In this case, it was Napoleon, not Zelensky. Wow. Napoleon was a dictator? Was he a good dictator or bad dictator? Was he more warmongering for Christ, or was he warmongering for ego, the devil? We may never know, because we don't read. We don't read the true stuff. We read CNN. Why do you do that? Thank you. Was she in Love and Death? Love and Death. Maybe she was in Diane. Oh, Shirley Durley. 1975, Love and Death. Looks like she was in it. I don't know, all white women look the same sometimes. Like, who is that? Is that Terry? I don't know. So I can't tell if that's her. She has this sort of a nondescript plain Jane sort of face. Oh, it has Woody Allen in it. Oh, I love Woody Allen. You're not supposed to love Woody Allen, I guess. One, because he's not Christian, and then two, because he got with that gal. It's a satire on the golden age of Russian literature, starring Woody Allen and Diane Keaton as Boris and Sonia, with a J. Russians living during the Napoleonic era, whenever that was. About to be executed for a crime he never committed, Boris Grushenko recalls how he got into his present predicament. So is it funny? Yeah, comedy film. You know what movie that I liked back in the day? Life is Beautiful. Before I knew anything about politics, right? Life is Beautiful. And it was about the Nazi times. And, well, I don't want to spoil it, but, it's 1997 movie. I owned it for a while, but I lent it to a friend, and I don't think I ever got it back. Lent it to a couple of friends. Maybe I do have it, but I probably got it for cheap. Gentle Jewish Italian waiter Guido Orefice. I'm gonna pronounce it that way, okay? Meets Dora, a pretty school teacher, wins her over with his charm and humor. They marry and have a son, Giosu. And the boy is so cute. And then he's like marching in front of the boy, makes the boy laugh toward the end of the movie. So good. So fun. It's so like those people know how to pull on your emotions. You laugh. You may do other things. Nice. But anyway, I didn't mean to... Well, pardon my stepping all over your Diane Keaton legendary movie, Carver, there. Love and War. Love and Death, I mean. Greatest war movie ever made. They made me watch All Quiet on the Western Front in portions in sophomore year, 10th grade of high school. They being the teacher. Nice. Thank you, Carver. I appreciate it. Eric, I read those coffees, the great Italians of the Jersey Shore. Jim, tan, laundry. All right, so that's that for that. Thank you, Coffee's review. plus Love and War, no, Death, Diane Keaton. By the way, life is beautiful. And from Popcorn, and then I'll get to your calls. Jesse recently... What? Oh, we already answered that. Yeah, we already answered that. About Jesse tweeted segregation worked, integration doesn't. Races don't mix, experiment failed, time to divide. We got along peacefully down south during Jim Crow, says JLP Talk on X. Tweet like that meant to rile people up, claims he, which is not true. Totally disagree with the substance of it, claims he. I plan to ask Jesse this question, and he did, today, this morning. But to me and Big Bump, do you think it's time to divide? Yeah. If so, are you going to pack your bags and move into an all, insert your race here, area? No, that's not what that means. You're in your head about what that means. Jesse obviously isn't going to move to a black neighborhood. How do you know he hasn't? So my point is, tweets like this I see as performative extremism. It's not extreme at all. It's normal. And or hypocrisy. It's not hypocrisy at all. That's projection. What say you guys? Please answer the first questions, and where are your thoughts in general when someone suggests something like that others should do? It's time, but they themselves haven't done, he asks. And he gives a follow-up over here saying, I can't find the consistency or coherent through lines in the responses that you, Big Bump, or Jesse gave to the segregation question. Freedom to divide. You mentioned it's good to divide from evil. Great. Neither evil nor good is synonymous with race. So are you, Hake, in favor of going back to racial segregation? And if so, why haven't you done so in the workplace or where you live? Does it just sound cool? I already separate as much as I can, as much as makes sense. Big Bump chimes in and goes, Jesse's right. Integration does not work, but no, I'm not going to move into a black neighborhood. So he does not think it's time for racial segregation. How do you know? Jesse said Derek thinks he's white or something like that. He is white, Derek. And so, no, he isn't moving to a black neighborhood, so he thinks the races should divide, but he should be an exception, so not racial segregation, claims Popcorn. It sounds like what you guys are really for is like-minded people, regardless of race, segregating themselves. You know what JLP said, with the exception, if there is an exception, let them come together naturally. Because what we did with integration, what was not natural. It's not natural. Nothing the Democrats do is natural, or Republicans, really. It's just tokenism. Tokens. Bunch of tokens. The Democrats have a whole ton of tokens. The crowd, the wide road that leads to destruction, and the Republicans have a tiny bit of tokens. And little itty-bitty tokens. And they're like, oh, look at these tokens. Look at these. But Trump doesn't think like that. He's just, you are what you are. Doesn't care what you are. So, yes, I agree it's time for races to divide, but I have no plans to racially divide or segregate. Is that it? I emphasize race because that's what Jesse mentioned specifically, not muddying the water with anything else. No, you're actually the one muddying the water, because he said integration did not work. We got along fine. We were getting along fine until these commies, these, what are they called? Agitators. Agitated. And made you complainers. Kind of like unions. Unions targeting the ungrateful, the angry employees to make a potentially sort of not ideal situation, make it worse. Or to make a fine situation worse. Because no situation is going to be ideal because people are evil. All people are evil. Popcorn. So you don't get it. You're not going to get it. You're blind. Cry about it. Oh, man. Okay. Cesar C's of 3 coffees. Sup, Hake? I don't have much today, but support and appreciation. I really appreciate you, Jesse, and the crew being available most of the year, barely taking days off in order to keep the shows on the air for us viewers, supporters, fans. Also appreciate you squeezing in the push-up question to Big Bump before the show ended. Have a great show, my guy. Cool sunglasses, strong arm. Yeah, I didn't see your thing about third favorite guest. P.S. Don't be bashing Bay. Christy Noam. If you're gonna call her a mess, at least call her a hot mess. Joking. LM blank O. Nice. Jermaine, hi, James, sharpshooter 007 that never misses. Golden gun. One shot, one kill. Everything you and Dylan Burns talk about is happening in Canada. Dylan Burns? Dylan Burns or Big Bump? Dylan Burns? Oh, Mark Corney playing Mother. Oh, wow. Send you a link for it. He's an evil male. Mark Carney. A great man. But I want to be a great man too, said Trump. Yeah, playing Mama. Yeah, because Dylan Burns supporting communism mama stuff. Supporting not defunding single mothers because we need to feed the school kids. Because for some reason, somehow parents can't feed their kids. I don't buy it. In Canada, they were banning pork in the school because Muslims don't eat it. Not sure if it's going to be Canada-wide as yet. And he shares with me an Instagram tip. David asked, thank you, I'll check that Instagram tip out when I remember. David asked, does the devil have a free will? Does the devil have a free will? No. The devil's in hell, and he can't get out. And he's trying to pull you into hell, too. Successfully, oftentimes. Most of the time. 3 coffees from Caesar or Cesar. Sup, Hake? Welcome back, Big Bump, my third favorite Hake Report guest. No offense. Speaking of favorite guests, where Krishan the Dawn at? No, it's where Krishan the Dawn is. Or where's Krishan the Dawn? He's still hosting or co-hosting or hosting Misfit Nation. I saw him live on Rumble just the other day. To answer your question from Friday, but I shall have him back sometime, I think. To answer your question from Friday, I'm a light brown skinned Latino with Dominican parents. Light brown, like Chris Brown. But Dominican, doesn't that usually mean part black? Or is it, because there's white Hispanic and there's black Hispanic. And I suppose there's American Indian red Hispanic. So it sounds like you're mixed, white and black. And if you're light brown skin, maybe you're white and red Hispanic. Red is basically yellow, right? Because aren't the American Indians Asians? So goes the theory. Speaking of Dominicans, they have a huge Christopher Columbus statue over there. With that being said, Dominicans respect him. Nice. They better. They know what happens if they don't. I'm doing a chopping the hand off gesture because I read about that. Because Karen was claiming he's a murderer or something. So I'm like, did he personally kill anybody? There's no specific evidence of him personally killing it, but he was the governor, and they called him back, and they accused him of like crimes or something like that. The king pardoned him, but he was pretty brutal as he put the clamp down, and it was pretty rough. I mean, I don't know. He might have been a rough dude. He was Italian. Have you heard of what the mafia used to do? Allegedly. Shout out. No offense. How many push-ups can you do, Big Bump? Big Bump can do 100. 100. Very nice. So I think I did pretty well on those super chats. Whole lot of mess going on in the world. Was that rude of me to tell Popcorn that? I think it's because I spend so much time on him, you know? Am I being rude, Popcorn? There, Popcorn. Popcorn. Okay, other prior coffees. Popcorns, because it's multiple. on separate. You hear JLP saying, just a revisiting quickly, and then I'll get to your calls. Just a quick revisiting, Popcorn. You hear JLP saying, parents, white parents, take your white children out of the schools. Don't let them go to schools with these boys and girls. They hate you. That's one of the reasons why he was saying it's time to divide. If we peruse when he said that, that was over here. I know I'm taking a little bit of time, but this is maybe worth it, right? It may be a little lesson. Let's see, was it the Friday show? When was JLP Talk's tweet or X post? It's his pinned post on X, okay? That was the 10th. That was a Friday. Here, let me repost it, I guess. Segregation worked, meaning during the Jim Crow thing. It wasn't as bad as they're pretending that it was. Some of it may not have been fair or right, but this integration stuff is not fair or right. Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. And they don't mix. Even when they mix, they don't mix well. Even families don't even stay together right or in the right way. You know? This experiment failed. You think that the devil's not going to be talking in your head? Think, oh, he's thinking this way because of my race. You hear it from Popcorn even. He's always suspicious of me and my thinking. That mindset. Thinking black, not thinking sensibly. Not seeing sensibly. Or recognizing that he doesn't see. It's time to divide. We got along peacefully during Jim Crow down south, he says. So it might have been. That's when JC said, I could be wrong. Let's see. Let's say divide. What? Wrong? Could be wrong? No. I could be wrong, but the races don't mix. Yeah, this was 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 27 seconds in after a black lady blocks the deplaners. Selfish woman. Heifer, he called her. It looks like heifer, but it's pronounced heifer. Dallas Pet Smart store shooting. These two black gals, an older black gal held the door for a younger black gal, and the older black gal didn't get thanked by the younger black gal at the Pet Smart, so she foolishly followed this woman around all the way to her car saying, say thank you. According to what I understood from the story, I could be wrong, okay, I disclaim. Some of the info may be false. And what does the black gal do? Shoots her. That's not right. At one point, did I say that timestamp was? Yeah.
White people, do what you want. It's time to separate from the black. It's completely time to separate. What I noticed too, now I could be wrong about this, so correct me if I'm wrong. I really can be wrong. You hear me saying I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm admitting it. I could be wrong about this one. I'm admitting it. I could be wrong about this one.
Show the chat replay.
But I noticed that races don't mix.
Live chat replay.
I know how all these illegals are coming into our country. They're here now. They don't mix with other races. They all go to their corners and they fight.
Yep.
This is why you're not supposed to let different races into your country. They don't mix. And I know it's because of the anger of the hearts, the evil of the heart that races don't mix. But this experiment of mixing, becoming one nation, ain't gonna work. It's just not gonna work. Look what's happening in Europe. The white folk let the Alawaba people in over there and from Africa over there, and it's a mess. It's a mess. In Mommy Africa, South Africa, that is, it's a mess. White people had to leave their township and go to the farmland, and they still can't get along with the blacks. Races don't mix.
There we go.
My producer's telling me they don't assimilate well. They don't assimilate at all. So it's time to divide. It's time to separate. It's time. Baby, it's time to come home. Come home. It's time to come home. They let this one black female control the whole plane.
Terrible.
Thank God she didn't have no bomb or something strapped around her.
Terrible. Imagine that. You're just being. You're too
It's time
nice.
to separate. Separation worked better than interation. Interation. What do you call that? We all put, whatever they call it. Putting everybody living together. Integration. That don't work.
There you see it.
I remember, speaking of that, a thought just occurred to me. When I was growing up in Alabama, white people and black people didn't live together, but they got along better. They got along better. Black people worked hard, did their own thing. White people did their thing, but when they saw each other, they were so nice to one another. They were so nice. They weren't making all these mixed babies and they hated one another and carrying on. Under the Jim Crow law, they got along better. And ever since the civil rights movement happened, they came together. It went to hell in a handbasket.
Yup. Facts.
So, white people, it's time to separate from the races.
Nice. Thank you, JLP. Shout out. Hope that helps you. Well, I don't have high hopes. There you go, popcorn. And that was mildly entertaining for the rest of the people who get sick of popcorn's super chats, his books. But I never tire of you, popcorn. All right, let's get back to the stuff. The lines are full, everybody? Oh, I promised Rob in NorCal, didn't I? Rob in NorCal, thank you for calling and holding, sir. How you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm doing all right. Hake, how are you?
Doing fine. Thank you, sir.
Nice. I called nice and early, and you're trying to globe us.
I know.
The show, huh? Yeah.
I'm letting the whole world spin a full turn before I get to you.
Yeah, exactly. So you've heard the phrase, you can't have it both ways, right?
I've heard it.
Okay, so I just want to explain to you the type of critical thinking that we deal with every day as flat earth truthers. Yesterday you had a caller who called in and talked about the grids of the cities and the roads that they pre-build, before they put cities and houses and stuff there.
Yeah.
And that they look like a perfect grid, and then sometimes they can peel off, which is indicating that that's a curve, you know. But then at the same time, Glovers are like, oh, the Earth is just so big that you can't see a curve on the, from an airplane, to the distance, to the horizon, because it's so big.
Uh-huh.
So you can't have it both ways. You know what I mean? Like,
I do. I disagreed with that caller. I respectfully disagreed with that caller, or didn't understand necessarily his thinking that the jogging over and of roads was due to the ball Earth
curve.
Right.
There's this thing called topography that we deal with.
Yeah, topography means that there's
streets.
Mountains and hills and rivers and different situations. There's different reasons that we move, and there's also stuff underneath the ground and bunch of pipes and all kinds of things.
Yeah, you can be building a road and you run into a 20,000-pound rock that you just can't do anything about.
Yeah, or sometimes there's like sinkholes and like unstable.
Yeah,
all kinds of different things going on
absolutely.
on this big beautiful globe.
Big beautiful flat Earth. I know. Yeah, and just the whole world is a stage, and it's like, I know Jesse said he saw a rocket launch the other day, and they used to do those rocket launches in real life, like people could go out and like watch them,
Okay.
but they don't let you do that anymore because the rocket's not really going anywhere. When you watch it on the TV like that, I haven't seen it yet, but if I was a betting man, I'd say it was probably some CGI nonsense. Same thing that they did with the rocket launch in India, and the thing with Elon where he has a rocket land and it comes down and it corrects itself before it lands on its rocket launcher. Yeah, even Elon says it's so fake it's got to be real, or it looks so fake it's got to be real. It's like all this stuff is just, this is the kind of critical thinking that we're dealing with. It's like you guys are often saying on the show, you're like, well, how do you know Israel is lying about this and doing all these bad things or whatever? Where's your evidence?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's the same thing with this globe stuff and this space exploration, NASA and all that stuff. It's like, how do you, there's no real evidence. It's always hearsay. And, I did send you guys a video just recently, maybe like 40 minutes ago when I called. And it's about how you can't travel Mach 3.3 on a spinning globe because at that speed, you can't turn at all. Like you can't turn, you can't go down, you can't go up, can't make any variations to your trajectory because you're going so fast, you'll throw yourself out. Oh, did you? We'll change your diaper in 1 second, princess. 1 second, I'll be right with you. I had him entertained for 40-minute takes, so.
I know, terrible. What a mess.
So yeah, and then also in the video, got a timestamps here, 12:10. I think it talks about how, or it shows all the numbers in the globe model. Like the angle is like 66.6 degrees angle. Like the circumference of whatever is 6.6. I don't know. It's in the video. It's just a picture. You don't have to play the video. You can just pause it. 1455 is another one that has another. What do they talk about there? I can't remember off the top of my head. Like I said, this was 40 minutes ago. But if you care to look at that video, it is there.
Okay, I shall check that out, sir. I appreciate the tip.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't see how this space thing is debunked. I think it looks cool. I think it's real.
Yeah, it looks real. There's a lot of things that look real, Oh, yes, but it's like talking and listening to Globers at this point is like pretty much the exact same thing as talking and listening to liberals, because they're always accusing you of the thing that they're guilty of. It's like nobody's doing their own research. My son is in first grade right now. They're telling him about planets and stuff in first grade.
Awesome.
You know why? Because you'll believe anything.
Cool. No.
Yeah, it is cool, but it's like you don't have the reasoning capability to question anything at this point.
I fall for a lot of stuff even to this day. So I don't know, 6 years old versus, but it seems like you would want to know at least about what they're saying about the planets, so that you can see for yourself. Are you teaching your kids that it's a flat and that space is fake?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Call
I tell
CPS. No, I'm kidding around.
but I tell them, hey, if they're talking about globes and stuff, like, don't worry about it. It's fine. Just know that it's not real. They believe that it's real. They think, and like Jesse's even on board with evolution being fake, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I've heard him talk before where he's like, you think we came from a monkey? He's like, why don't we come from monkeys anymore? You know, and it's true. It's like a lot of this stuff. It's like a litmus test. You know, if they can get this flying space ball that keeps water connected to it via gravity, which that's what one of those timestamps is. It says that it's like a aeronautics department or something, and they say that gravity is just a theory. Like they say we don't really know how gravity works and all that stuff, and they don't really make it seem like that when they tell everybody, oh, it's gravity that keeps pulling down this plane to adjust for the curvature. You know?
I don't know.
Did I just break your brain?
No, I haven't seen. I don't know what you're I don't know. I haven't seen the video yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
What it's talking about.
Okay. Well, anyway, basically, it's like there's a bunch of papers from the military and formal government agencies that say we don't we live on a stationary flat plane. Like anytime we fly, anytime we shoot rockets, anytime we shoot mortars, you're assuming that it's a flat stationary plane. There's no spin. There's and then
I'll check it out, man.
At the same token, they're also saying we don't really gravity is just a theory. Everybody acts like it's something that is obviously true, but it's just a theory. And on top of that, they don't know what's in the middle of the earth because the longest drill on the flat earth is 6 miles deep. It's and Russia owns it. They have it.
Awesome.
So, but nobody knows what's deeper than any of that stuff. But yeah, man, I've been hearing a lot of flat earth haters on your show recently. Just wanted to call in and I guess give them some more stuff to chew on.
Thank you, sir. Robin
Yes,
NorCal.
sir.
Take
Appreciate
care,
you having me on. All right, later.
All right. And David in Ocala, Florida, on the line over here. David, thank you for calling and holding, sir. You're live.
What's going on?
Hey, man. Thanks for holding.
Thanks for letting me get on. I want to shout out for Francisco Hernandez. We were just chatting in the chat. So.
Okay.
I don't know
Shout
who
out.
he is. I just chatted with him. So
Good guy. Fun guy.
Diane Keaton, the first time I saw her was 11 years old. My brother and I, we went to the drive-in and saw Annie Hall.
Okay.
And,
that was one of her classic movies, I think.
Yeah, with Woody Allen. And
okay. So that was another Woody Allen movie that she was in.
Yeah, but I think the best movie they did together though was Manhattan. If you haven't seen that, you should check that out. The acting quality is just so strong.
Manhattan, huh? With Woody Allen as well? Diane Keaton
Yeah,
and Woody
it was
Allen?
a couple years. Yeah, Annie Hall came out in 1977, I believe, and Manhattan came out in 1979. What's interesting is Woody is supposedly 42 years old in this movie, and he's messing around with the actress Muriel Hemingway, who's only 17. It's just some wild stuff, dude. Check it out if you get time. But anyway.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I called about the peace treaty, the ceasefire. I mean.
Yes.
The Israelis get back 20 people and give back almost 2,000.
Typical.
You realize that?
100-1, something like that.
It's nuts.
It is. And that's how they do it, though, all the time.
Right.
That's why they're they try to be very protective of not getting POWs. When, because in the past, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, just in the past, they've had to deal with this POW problem, and they always, they love their people, So.
Well, the Israelis killed supposedly 67,000 Palestinians.
That's true. You think about it. They lost 2,000 or less, and they killed 10 times as many or something. Yeah, or 60 times as many.
they were men, that they gave back to them. It's just it's never gonna.
No
be,
women
man.
survived, huh?
I don't know. I just saw that it was.
I heard that it
men
was
getting
men
off
as
the
well.
bus.
Yeah.
Oh, it was women as well.
No, I heard that I heard the same thing that you did, that it was just men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so. But hey, RBG, man, she was a bad lady, dude. She was a bad seed, bro. She's not in a good place, dude. She's just bad. Okay, so rest in peace. She ain't resting in peace, buddy. I can almost guarantee it. I hate to judge like that, but I told you before to read about Matthew 13, the wheat and the tares. Okay.
Yeah.
And it
separating the wheat and the tares.
Says, it explicitly says you're either a child of God or you're a child of the devil. Okay.
Right.
I mean, he just comes right out and says it. Okay. So this hocus pocus they've been telling you all your life, we're all children of God, that is a lie.
I agree with that. I remember Mitt Romney claimed, I believe we're all children of God. I'm like, that's a lie. We're children of Satan.
Mitt Romney would say that, okay?
Yeah. Lame-o. That's why he marched for Black Lives Matter, rhino. And he kissed up to Obama, whom he was supposed to stomp Obama, metaphorically speaking, of course. And he kissed up to him like a rhino kiss-up, lame-o, guilt-ridden guy.
I can see how he'd lose that race. He's too weak. Okay?
Yeah, totally.
That's how the Republican Party, is going. When you see those kind of men like that, you wonder, you just know, like, they're not strong, like picking up women. Okay, Mitt Romney is weak. Okay, just like who was the vice president for Trump last time again?
Mike Pence.
Yeah, Pence. Same way. Pence weak. He couldn't score to save his life. Okay?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, man. Mike Pence did a good job against Kamala Harris. That's all I can say about him. I was pleasantly surprised what a great job he did, because I had very low expectations on Mike Pence versus Kamala Harris way back in 2020. So the vice presidential debate, he did a good job, even though we lost. Fair enough. He proved himself to be weak and a kiss up for sure. And you're saying that he's weak because he couldn't score with women?
You can just tell he's weak. That's he couldn't close nothing. Okay, he's like, there's guys out there like that, man. They're just
that's
so
true.
Weak. They couldn't. They just don't have the charm.
Right.
It's just
the brazenness. Trump definitely was not lacking in that area. There is something to that, Even though even though it's not good to be having the sex out of wedlock, it is a worldly skill / worldly strength, if you will, to be able to play women, if you will.
Yeah, get good-looking women.
Trump did that. Bibi seems to do that. He picked up a gal who was a stewardess. I remember one of his wives. So it's not right. It's not good. I mean, it causes a lot of misery for all involved, including the children that come out of it. But it is a sign of a normal, manly, worldly, and also sort of God-given strength that some men have and some males don't.
Well, God knew what he was doing. It protects the children, and because it's a union. You're marrying in the eyes of God. Okay,
union.
And you're making this commitment. Yeah, you're making a commitment to the person, and it's just like it takes two people to make a marriage and one to screw it up. Okay, that's pretty much how it goes, And but there's spiritually though, I believe that it protects the children. Okay,
when the men are tough
from the enemy.
When the men are, because they're not just tough and able to score, quote unquote, with a woman, but they're also able to deal with confrontation well and protect their children in different ways.
Right, they're in the house. Yeah, they're in the house to protect their children. the children fear their father to a degree. You got what I'm saying? You know, hey, when your daddy gets home, I'm going to tell him that you know what you did. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When that's gone, man, there's trouble. You know, David brought up something today. You know, I look back in my life, okay? And, you know, because when you get older, you will too. You're getting about that age, you're going to start thinking about stuff you did as a kid, Hake. Anyway, my life has been flashing past through my mind for about the last 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And one of the stupidest things I ever did was we had these college kids I worked with, and they talked me into scoring them like a quarter pound of weed, okay, when I was like 17. I met him in a graveyard, man, and did this, and I thought back, man, if I would have got busted, dude, I would have been in deep trouble.
That's funny, man.
Terrible. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, and I only made, I remember I was walking home to my house after it was over, and I said, I'll never do that again. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized, oh my God, I mean, my anxiety was through the roof, you know. And, but anyhow, I'll let you go with this, man. You know, Trump's not as smart as people think he is, okay? And I gave you 2 examples here. Okay?
Real quick.
You want to hear them?
Please.
All right. Paula White being his senior advisor to the White House Face Office.
Africa right now. Africa right now. Asa, masa. Yeah, that preacher woman. That's silly.
Yeah. She buried 2 churches down here in Florida and took them out.
Okay, what's your second example? Because I want to rush.
Robert Morris, man, who just got 6 months for molesting a 12-year-old girl when he was like 21 years old. So,
and who's Robert Morris? He's on the administration.
He was Trump's advisor the last time.
Okay, terrible.
So
you never know what people are into.
Yeah, you got to do a little research, okay? That's all I got to say, right?
Maybe, I don't know. Okay.
All right, man. Take
Thank
it
you,
easy, man. Thanks for letting me call you. Hey, and check out Manhattan when you get a chance. You'll like it.
Thanks for the tip, sir. Take care.
All right, later.
All right. Bye. I would like to do justice to Popcorn. He has one other follow-up. All right, I don't like letting these carry over on buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report, if you please. Last point I'll make on this, says Popcorn. I don't know what's going on within my thing. Last point I'll make on this. There's no ambiguity or misunderstanding about what racial segregation was. Oh, yes, there is. There's a whole lot of ambiguity and misunderstanding. But you do a masterful job of trying to make it more palatable, and talk about everything else but that. Read the tweet again. You, Hake, work and live among people of other races and have no plans to change that. Same with Jesse. That's all. That was happening also during segregation, buddy. Naturally, the races were coming together naturally and dividing naturally. That's what segregation kind of was, or it was becoming naturally. Advocating for letting the races naturally come together in a time when there is no segregation makes no sense. Yes, it does, because there is forced integration, which is a segregation thing, and it's evil. It's worse than segregation, honestly, I think, maybe. Unless you want to hit the reset button, go back to segregation and try it again. How have you put "it's time to divide" into action? I already told you, I don't go out at night. I don't even go out during the day. Certain places I just won't go. If you're willing to work and live among non-white people and it's working for you, why segregation? It was law back then. Do you want segregation by law again? I would be okay with a law allowing for it. But guys, unfortunately, beautiful Maze from the Sundown Town and Rick of Dayton, Ohio, and Rick in Hampton, VA, and Steven in Maryland, you guys are priority next time. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. American Anchor Baby. Coming up next, everybody. Bye.